show dance. That's such a, gross, seedy lifestyle. Why professional wrestling is the perfect form of entertainment. Yes, we talk about comics. Yes, we talk about actors. I just like travel hubs. I like airports, bus stations, shit like that. I just like them. At the most basic level thing, you constantly have the option to get Charlie died doing what he loved to. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that. I have intuition, and I'm deep in
Every time.
People fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Oh, hey guys, welcome to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I am your host this week, Tyler Charles. This podcast runs a little bit differently than other podcasts, as in we switch hosting roles each week. We pick a topic and we run with it. I also want to say, if you have not yet, like our page and subscribe and comment and like this video, all that stuff. It really helps us. Also, just want to give a shout out. Thank you, everybody. We're at 1,000 likes now on our page, which might not seem that crazy to you, but it's a pretty awesome milestone for us.
No, I was going to say, I hope you mentioned it because I think that really is cool. I mean, you know, when you do stuff like this, you know, it's not an ego thing. It's just we're trying to do this thing. We want to grow it, and 1,000 likes already. I think it's really cool.
It shows that people do, literally pushing a button that says like.
And I gotta say, and I don't want to make it sound too small, but for us doing a weekly show here and kind of building it up on our own, we really do get a lot of people that tell us each week that they're enjoying it and stuff, and I really appreciate it, man. It means so much. I know all.
Yeah,
of us
it really
here,
does.
so.
Eric will send us screenshots of people, and we've gotten messages ourselves, and we just love all the support and everything you guys have been giving us. Honestly, it's
all
great.
right. It is an ego thing for me. My head's gotten very big.
I definitely.
He's just walking around the house with a king robe on, being "Subject, you must give me my suit."
I don't even need porn to jerk off anymore.
I just want to stomp on the little people. I can't wait.
Okay, so speaking of stomping on the little people, man, this episode. So I'm hosting this week, by the way, and I'm doing this show, I didn't mention, with my co-host Scott Ryan here.
Right here.
Yep, and then Eric Fady.
Hello.
The only one? Yeah. Scott will be doing next week, so look forward to that. This week we are
first,
covering
let's just
a
crunch
thing
this
that
piece
honestly,
of shit, then get to Scott's next week.
yeah. Get past it.
Let's just move on.
Get them big numbers.
Right.
No, I honestly talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, like Brittany Spears, man. This whole Save Britney movement.
Free Britney?
Or Free Britney. Well, either way, we save her, free her, get her out of that situation.
Save Britney? Does anybody?
I think officially it's
Free Britney. I think
hashtag Free Britney.
Yep, I'm covering it, and I did not know that. But it is just looking into this,
it's crazy
from an outside perspective of I really like Brittany Spears. I've always been into her. She was the first concert I went to. The first concert I ever went to was Brittney Spears.
Where were you living? Were you living in Michigan? Did you see her at Grand Rapids?
Yep, at the Van Andel Arena.
Wow.
Yep. I hate concerts at the Van Andel Arena.
Really?
We were far away, but she put on a hell of a show.
Why?
It's too big. It's too in those big arena concerts like that. You can't.
Why
don't I just fucking watch it on TV? I'm sitting in a seat.
No,
you know what's funny about that
shit?
is
they do some crazy shit now where essentially the person is coming out into the audience a lot of the time with these concerts. So you're getting closer to them.
They're coming out into the audience.
Yeah, Kanye had.
I know Kanye had that
platform that went across the entire mosh pit area.
Yeah,
and would get closer to each one of the sides.
Kanye, right?
People are in harnesses. They're flying over.
You know what's funny is that just because
Britney Spears,
she was in
flying in a harness.
She
around.
was absolutely flying in a harness.
Scott, the thing about Scott, and this isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's something that as I've gotten older, I've been more into. But the thing is, you're just into so much more underground stuff. The funny thing is, you said Van Andel's too big, and I was about to say you guys are lucky because Van Andel's actually small. When I go to the shows, they're at they were at the Palace back in the day, and it's 6, bigger. And so my point is it's funny that you were oh, it's so big, and I was dude, you guys are lucky.
Fit in there, right?
3,000 in Van Andel? That's it?
How-
See,
how-
No.
many
Van
people
Andel, I
can
think,
fit
is
in Van
like 10,000 or
10,000,
12,000.
something
okay.
like that.
I
My
could,
biggest thing is the
think
seats.
about like 60,000.
My problem is the seats too. Is it's like, what are you? I'm gonna sit down and enjoy a concert.
Yeah, I think the thing is, you're right. When I started going to non-country concerts in my life, that was a bigger deal to me. But like when I was growing up,
better. It just gives you a designated area to chill.
what an old man! What an old
Yeah,
man!
oh my god! Yeah, no, chill in your home and watch a fucking concert video.
Right, watch a YouTube. Goddamn it, get up front of
Okay,
the.
Yeah.
But you
Fair
do.
enough.
But that's the thing, though, Scott. You just listen. You know what I mean? You listen to a lot more like underground rap and stuff. So you go to places that are just you're right there. And for people that listen to like mainstream music, like I said, that's kind of just what you deal with usually.
Yeah. I have seen concerts where I've gone there and like just smoked weed with the person who did the concert outside.
Right, exactly. And then they ask you for a ride.
And you're
later,
not
too.
doing that with Brittany
And they
Spears.
ask you for a ride. Yeah, right.
Can I get a bum to the gas station
Yeah.
or the bus station? God damn it, I messed it
Bus
up.
station. Either way, gas
Either
station,
one.
bum station.
The gas station might even be worse. What is this situation? Hey, my car ran out of gas on the way.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No,
Right.
you're getting robbed. This is the situation
Yeah,
you were in the
that's
past previous episode.
But but so you
No,
saw
I
her
was
at
just gonna
so
say,
you-
just
that's
like
when did you
it's
see
so
her?
daunting and so upsetting because it's like she's such like the way they speak about her, like at all of her close friends and family. I watched that documentary
On Hulu?
on Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's basically just
It's something.
God damn it, I watched it too.
Britney Spears Framed.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
something along those lines.
Framed.
Yeah, it does say frame. I can't remember.
How is she framed?
I don't
I think you know what it is? It's a series of shows and she's like episode 6. So I think maybe that's the name of the series and
okay.
it's I think.
I didn't know that. I just
Do they
watched
have
that
an
episode.
OJ episode of
All
Framed?
of them just talk about.
He's still looking for the killer on those golf courses in
I feel like
Florida.
Britney Spears and him are not in the same league when it comes to that stuff.
My favorite thing about OJ Simpson is that he's still out there looking for the killer, he says.
Yeah, sure he is.
And also now he's active as fuck on
Does
Twitter,
he
like
not
right
have
now.
a mirror in his house?
I'm
Like,
sorry,
is he
very,
not-
very slight side tangent. I have read If I Did It.
Oh,
by
so
the way.
I read parts of it.
just parts of it.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Okay, first of all, I love. Do you know that the family of Nicole Brown Simpson won the rights to that book in a lawsuit?
Oh yeah.
So they made the if really, really tiny on the cover.
Right,
so
right.
It just said, I did it.
What
That's great.
dude, when you get to the
And
when
he
you
did.
read that, dude, seriously, it's honestly it's fun. I feel bad, but it's so hilarious because
You
he's
were-
literally like, and then what I would do is I'd get on a plane and do or something, and it's like, oh my god.
And you were asking about what gaslighting is right before this
Yeah.
started for an actual definition. That book.
That book is
Hands
gaslighting the
down.
world. The whole world.
He talks about her like she is the worst piece of shit and he is a victim the whole
Oh, I
time.
know.
Oh my god. That's
I'm gonna let me say one thing real fast, and then let's get back to Brittany. But I do gotta say this because it's my favorite joke ever from one of my favorite comedians, Norm Macdonald. But he was hosting a sports award show for ESPN, and he was doing kind of the opening monologue, right? And he's just kind of going like, here we got these people here." He goes, "Charles Woodson, big young guy from Michigan Football University, blah blah blah." He's going on, and he's like, and this guy got so much going ahead from blah blah blah. And then he goes, he just won the Heisman Trophy. And no one could ever take that away from you unless you kill your ex-wife and a waiter. And it's literally, and this is like national television. This isn't in some little club. This is on ESPN.
Oh my god.
that is pretty rough.
Ballsy, man. Anyway, let's get into back to
Okay, so
Brittany.
No, I was gonna say, okay, so to start, I was like, the way they describe, I'll just go from like when she started becoming famous. Like her parents, the whole documentary I watched really skewed towards like her parents were like caring about her dream. This bitch is 4.
Well,
This guy's 4 years old, and you're putting her in song or like singing lessons.
I would
and,
say
like,
this.
pushing her to do this shit. Like she didn't make a decision in that. They
No.
absolutely wanted a cash cow.
The
You
dad
ask
did.
any
I feel like the dad
4-year-old you
did.
want to be a famous singer, they'd be like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I barely
Right,
know
of
what
course.
that means, but yes.
Yeah.
But it was more the dad for sure to me than the mom.
Yes,
like
the mom,
dad
the
was.
mom does always feel like kind of her best friend. like
Right.
in everything they show and how she talks.
Although I
about
don't know
her
what they don't
mom
really
and, like,
explain what happened to her mom though. Like that's what I don't understand. Like why her mom
they
wasn't.
didn't really, because it was more about what happened to the dad. I didn't really get into what happened to her mom either. Both things I watched about it didn't really get into that at all. But so they put her into singing lessons at 4 years old. She does a bunch of like auditions for things and she tried to get on the Mickey Mouse Club when she was 10, which she was too young for, which also that's her parents pushing way too hard.
Okay, can I this might be a very obvious question, but a ton of singers come from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck was the Mickey Mouse Club? I never watched.
I don't even know, dude. You're right. That's a great point.
It was like a variety show for kids. I remember watching it when on Disney Toon.
Like all that?
Like that, but Disneyfied. So very, very popular, just the kid age time. They do, but like not like, honestly, all that's pretty hilarious sometimes. That show was very like, these are just pretty kids doing like singing and dancing and little skits. Okay. So it's kind of like all that, but like a blander version.
You know what's funny? Okay. Yeah, when you mentioned like the 4-year-old and pushing her kid into that, I'm not a father, thank God, I'm sure for that kid. But for someone, for me, for example, who likes sports, and I liked sports as a kid, and I certainly in some world would have loved to have been a professional athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always thought as a parent, especially these days, but like it would be a very fine line between like, on some hand, if your kid shows like, I want to be, because at some point Brittany did show signs that she was enjoying what she was doing. So
I'd say at 12 years old, when she was
I'm talking even like when they push, because the problem is even if a kid wants to be like a baseball player, you're still gonna need your dad to be like, dude, you better be practicing.
But acting,
I just wonder what that line is. That's all.
I feel like acting and pushing your kid to be an actor or singer, that's like a full-time job. An adult does those hours. Like they're working fucking 40 hours a week. It's not like going to baseball practice once.
Yeah, child acting is definitely different and way, in my opinion, worse. But
yeah, I feel like I had the opposite problem growing up. Like I was in acting classes and stuff when I was a kid, and I actually
made yourself. And I believe that.
No. I said I wanted to do it initially, and then I remember like the teacher and stuff being like, oh yeah, like he's pretty good at this, like telling my mom that and everything, and being like, and enjoying it and wanting to do it. And then my mom was just like, do you want to keep doing acting classes? And I was like, no, like I want to play video games. And she's just like, okay, Scott doesn't want to do acting classes.
Even knowing that you were good at it. That's what I'm saying. That's a good parent.
But I'm saying, what if the kid?
I was just some idiot kid. I should have been acting. I should have been doing that.
Well, and that's, I said, it's a fine line to me. Like, and the thing is, Tyler jokingly said, well, you know, whatever about like him sucking at it or something or whatever. But like, my point is like, it's just a question I've always had. Like let's say your kid says he kind of wants to play baseball. He's good. You can tell he has some natural talent. And I've always been curious of what the line if I were a dad, in my opinion, would be between, you should have to push a kid, because even if a kid has some talent, even if he likes it, they're going to be a kid, but also not like making him his whole life.
Pushing him actually into doing it further to an extent where it's like their issue.
I just think it would be harder.
Did either of you have a parent push you into any bullshit you didn't want to do?
No. I mean, I was in gymnastics for 14 years, but that was all me.
It was you wanted.
Seriously?
That was all me, yeah.
See, and your mom had a good balance with that. You were good at
gymnastics. A good balance.
And your mom had a good balance with that because you wanted to go to gymnastics.
Yeah, so she just encouraged
And so it's just like, oh, you don't want to go today? Well, too bad, because you actually do.
yeah, you do. I never
I'll say,
I just jump around on trampolines all day. What are you kidding?
I'll say I didn't actually have my parents do it, but I will say I had a time for, here's an example, though, of not that they ever pushed me into something I didn't want to do, but I was pretty good at running at one point, but and I hadn't done cross country in high school yet. I didn't do it my freshman year, and then I did freshman track, and they were like, the coach was like, dude, you should do cross country, blah blah blah. Anyway, I showed up to that first day sophomore year, and the reality was I didn't want to do it. I started telling my mom, I don't want to do it. Take me home. And I was just anxious. I was nervous. I didn't know these people. And she did say, like, just do it for a day or something. And to be honest, cross country, for example, ended up being the best thing I did in high school. Yeah. And so that's a line. Like, she didn't push me into something.
There is a line. You're right. You don't have to push your kid like as far as these people. I feel like 4 years old being like, really pushing your kid to be there. The dad always kind of felt like
the dad's
he's an
terrible.
alcoholic, was beating his wife pretty much her entire childhood.
Did he ever beat Brittany Spears?
Not on record. They
not
never
on record. It sounds like it though to me.
Yeah, like verbal abuse for sure. While she was younger. I mean, one of the people said that the only time they ever interacted with him when she was like in her teenage years famous is he said, "Oh, you're going to be famous enough to buy me a boat."
Yeah.
That's the only time he ever
told somebody that. No, he's like, he's going to be famous enough, buy me a boat.
Buy me a boat.
Buy me a boat.
Moron.
That is a hell of a lot of pressure to put on a little kid.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm a 32-year-old man. If somebody said, you need to buy me a boat, I would be sweating bullets. I'd be like, this is never going to happen.
Okay, so she gets in the Mickey Mouse Club when she's 12. She doesn't really do anything for the next couple of years. She meets NSYNC because of Justin Timberlake, because they were both in it. Who are the people? In the Mickey Mouse Club, there was Ryan Gosling,
I did not know
Christina
that.
Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, and Kerry Russell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know Kerry Russell or
Ryan Gosling. Me neither.
Yeah, me neither. Same.
Just like pumped out a bunch of fucking famous people.
Sure.
Brittany and Justin became friends. He got in the boy band NSYNC. She started opening for him on her own thing. Kind of started doing it. And then just blew the fuck up once.
How old were all of they at this point?
17 is when she got famous. But like before, she'd been doing it since she was like 15.
So NSYNC and Brittany Spears were like 15-year-olds doing their act.
Justin is 2 years older than her, so he was probably 17 when he started, and was like 20 something. So she gets famous, and then from that, and Justin and her start dating, which is like I was watching this thing today, and it was saying that like it really is. For a long time, we didn't have like America's couple. And like they turned into
that. For sure, dude. I didn't know anything about
a huge thing of like I don't know a ton about relationships in Hollywood, like people dating, but I know about that shit because it was like such a huge thing.
Do we think they were actually dating, or was this a
they were dating. They knew each other since childhood. Like she loved the fuck out of him.
Okay.
Like, and any interview you have with either one of them, they are both like, yeah, we loved each other. Like it was sweethearts. Like,
do you know why they broke up?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no one knows for sure.
We don't know exactly why.
And honestly, it's
you weren't in the room.
I feel so terrible for Brittany in this because like, even if she did, so Justin claims she cheated.
Okay.
There was no real evidence for that. There was just like speculation, all this shit. He said that she cheated. So everybody acted like, oh, she a hoe. She's fucking 18.
Wasn't she saying she was a virgin?
She's a super fucking famous person. Yes, but you know that shit. That is probably publicity.
Yeah.
Her and Justin got it. One, Justin admitted they had sex on a radio show.
Admitted.
Dude, by the way,
he fucking bragged.
He did it in the douchiest bad way.
He really did. It made me, honestly, listening to that, I've always kind of liked Justin Timberlake. And I was like, you piece of shit. They go, oh, come on, you got to admit it. Like, tell us, did you have sex with
here's
Britney
the thing.
Spears? And he's like, nah. Yeah, you know I did. I mean,
whatever. Tyler, real quick. Just look at I'm not defending it.
I mean, I'm sorry. If I were 18 and I fucked Britney
That's
Spears,
dude.
Telling everybody. I would not have the grace that Justin Timberlake did.
No, he is very graceful most of the time in his interviews where he's like, she's a lovely girl. Like, I really want the best for her, all this stuff. And
it sounded cringy.
But everybody...
I'd be like, I hit it. She's nasty. I don't know.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say, Eric?
I was just going to say, he sounds cringy, but like what Scott said, dude, I think... I'm not giving him a pass. I
don't give him a pass. I think,
but I'm saying it'd be hard.
The media went hard after Britney Spears.
Oh, dude, I have
and a slut. Someone in an interview said that they wanted to shoot her in the face because of how her music affected and her outfit affected her children and made them do stuff, and like wanted to shoot her in the face. And they had the recording of the woman, which is a death threat.
Yeah,
like that doesn't seem okay.
They're literally playing her a death threat.
She breaks down in tears because she's like, I think that you should just have your be a parent to your kids, and if you don't like it, don't show it to them.
They showed it to Britney Spears?
Yes.
They played it for
her.
Oh, that is
They showed the thing and played the recording of the woman calling in. Because it was a woman calling in and be like, I I think I would shoot you if I saw you in public.
Well, here real quick. What it was like a senator or a congressman from down south who was just, I mean, basically Tyler's right though. She was just saying like, you're a bad influence. But yeah,
so this was a person with an actual like
platform.
This was
title,
platform.
Yep.
Wow.
And she's saying that she would shoot Brittany Spears
and
because
also,
she's a
just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, let people do what they want to do. And if your daughter's a hoe, your daughter's a hoe. That has nothing to do with Brittany Spears.
Yeah.
It's just an outlet. They're going to always have those outlets. And,
well, dude,
and also don't, like they were saying this during the time, and there was no controversies with NSYNC and shit. They never had any, you never heard anything about Justin doing shitty or doing anything. But Britney Spears, because she was one of the only like women that was actually doing this pop star stuff, they fucking hardcore went after her. And it just was so upsetting to me because like she is like the way they on that documentary, it was so perfect. Like she was so clear and collected and was in charge of her stuff. People had to ask her to do things on tour. Like, hey, like, would you like this lighting? Do you want to do these dance moves? Do you have any insight for us? And she pretty much controlled that whole thing herself. Like she was in charge because her dad really wasn't in the picture at this time. It was her and her mom.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too. I do feel like there was this thing with some of the young pop stars in the 90s where it is such this toxic relationship with their sexuality, because you have those people, you know, you have like your Madonnas or like your Nicki Minaj's or something nowadays or whoever that will be very sexual, but like they kind of own it and control it.
Yep.
And that makes sense to a degree. But you had these where it's like these young teenage girls that on the one hand you're putting in these skimpy outfits and you're making them do all this sexual stuff. But then on the other hand, like you're shaming them for it. And you're
exactly. It's crazy.
The publicists are doing it. Like it's just what is everybody else is doing. Like it's so ridiculous that they would even hate on her so much. I was going to say too, that she like through this Justin breakup, I feel like that she was so clear and all together and like doing her shit. And then the breakup with Justin happened. He came out with a motherfucking song, Cry Me a River, and then had a video that was essentially insinuating that she just cheated.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Publicly to the world. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's bad.
And it's like I said, I always kind of in my head, I'm like, kind of like Justin. I think he's got good rhythm and I like his voice.
I saw him in concert once, actually.
And I'm sure it was great, but like he is a fucking asshole for doing that to her. She did not deserve that. And then everybody started being like, oh, why are you such a slut in your videos? Why are you? It's like, fuck you. Yeah. Why are we even talking about it?
And I mean, this was the same guy, too, that would eventually
sold 15 million albums. And you're bringing up my boyfriend issues? When she was... what was it? 6 years old on America's Got Talent. The interviewer, the old I can't remember his name. Interviewed her and asked if she had a boyfriend, and she was like, no, boys are icky. Why is he asking that little girl? He didn't ask the boy if he had a girlfriend.
Yeah. And when we talk about too, I mean, I think all of them are controlled by publicists and stuff like that. All those Mickey Mouse Club kids and stuff, like obviously. But like Justin Timberlake does have a pattern of too. You know, one thing people have pointed out a lot too is the Super Bowl thing with him, and Janet Jackson or whatever.
Right.
She had her career like ruined through that.
Right.
And he skated completely off.
Yeah.
Like, he was like.
He got bigger, if anything.
Yeah, and he was the active participant in that. I mean,
he's the one who ripped
it. Yeah.
By the way, for some reason, a nipple slip on the Super Bowl.
It happened.
No, but caused. I don't know how much you guys knew about this, but that changed morning radio forever for some reason. Like, I don't exactly know what that
delays.
Yeah, just and stuff like a morning show that I listened to when I was in high school, and then. Actually, it was a show I was lucky enough to intern on later, but like they like had bits that like the day before they could do, and the next day they couldn't do, and it had to do with a nipple slip on TV, which also is a thing I've always had in this country for a long time. It's like, dude, there was a nipple slip, and it ruined careers, and yet you can literally see people get chopped in the head with axes, and it's like, yep, that's fine, but sex, oh my lord, so it's crazy to me. Yeah, like, I've always thought about like, think about how in your life, like if you had a kid, you may not want your 7-year-old, you would not just want to walk in and show your 7-year-old, hey, here's Pornhub. Yeah. But like, he's going to see a naked guy or girl in his life, whether he's gay or straight. you hope he's not going to see some dude just chopping a head off in front of him. Like,
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You just be like, yeah, you know, people are naked sometimes.
And you can do that in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Oh,
like,
I know.
There's like what Titanic you showed a nipple, but
Slipping
like
nips.
other than
that was such a
like,
big deal. I remember that. It was such a big
Yeah,
deal.
I remember
Drawing
my
the-
grandma covering my face when we went and saw it in theaters.
I remember when I was like 10 years old, I would sit through 3 hours of Titanic
Just to get
because
that
my
news.
grandparents had it.
Oh,
And I knew there
yeah.
was the naked scene in it, and I'd be like, "Well, I gotta commit to the whole thing. I can't be like, well, I'm just gonna fast forward it to
Well,
the
and-
naked scene." And then you're just, yes, here it is.
Why did I missed something? I need to rewind.
And
Really messed
real
up.
quick, by the way, with Titanic, just not to go on a tangent here. And I know it's a movie, so you have to do the story. But there was room on that fucking wood for Jack and Rose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh,
Like,
Absolutely.
hands down.
I don't understand.
Rose is a straight bitch, and she's
like,
in a movie.
I like to stretch out. I don't want to be
She could have laid on top of him.
Right, like think about that.
Yeah.
Like literally, like you're in the middle of the ocean, and this dude, saved you from your bullshit married husband, your rich to be husband, and you're just like, not enough room on this raft, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, a woman pushing her side piece off of a raft, like that kind of checks out.
Rose's side piece.
Okay, let's get back to Brittany Spears. So, she is on a great course and a terrible course at the same time. She's getting more famous.
Yeah.
She's getting crazy famous, and then her and Justin break up because of this shit. He puts out that song, and she kind of goes a little nuts. They put it like she goes into an asylum, not an asylum, like a rehab, essentially for drugs.
This is during when she shaved her head and all
No,
of that.
not
God,
yet.
that was
So,
Okay.
I know we're getting there.
She was going to rehab for drugs because she was hanging out with fucking all the worst people, Paris Hilton, fucking Lindsay Lohan, like all those types of people that were in heavy drug use and doing a lot of terrible shit. And they started doing that. She went to rehab. She gets out. A few months later, she gets married to a childhood friend named Jason Alexander, and then they get divorced.
Jason
I always
Alexander?
Yep.
No, it wasn't him.
It's the name of the Seinfeld guy.
No.
Isn't
That's
it?
the name of him, but that wasn't him. It was the
No, obviously, she's not fucking a bald 40-year-old
Okay.
Seinfeld actor.
I bet Jason could get Brittany if he wanted.
yeah, that's probably true. So she goes through some shit. She goes through another rehab, stays in it, actually commits to it, marries Kevin Federline, gets that show.
I'm sorry, really quick. Jason Alexander cannot get Brittany Spears.
You don't think
What
so?
the fuck are you talking
He
about?
did though.
No, I'm saying George.
The Jason. I mean-
100% he could not.
He might be able to. You don't know.
He's
They're
got more.
both-
Dude, she let a fucking D-bag, worthless nobody knock her up and marry her K-Fed. He's a
better
multi-millionaire.
looking dude.
I mean, he
better
isn't a
looking
nobody.
dude.
He was a back, which is also another thing. People have suspicions that she married K-Fed out of spite to Justin because he was a background dancer to Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Which is like, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit. But so she marries him at 22, has two
God,
kids.
this timeline, dude. Real quick, when you're going through this timeline, you know what struck me watching it was just like, it's how fast it all went. And like when I remember back when this was all going on, and because I would listen to like I said, a morning show that really hit pop culture hard and stuff, and like hearing the timeline, it's so much faster than I remembered it. Like I just remember, and she's
You're like
younger.
17 to 22. That's
the other
when
thing.
she
She's
got
so much
famous
younger
to the
than I
point
remember. I remember thinking she
Yeah.
probably was like,
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
such a 5 years.
What is that? She had like 2 CDs that were really big.
And
How
had
many
2
were-
kids. Yeah, two.
Yeah.
Yep. She definitely
I
had
mean,
2.
but she did. I mean, the thing is, though, and I know Tyler's going to get this on this. Having said it, she remained one of the top, despite all this. Because when you say like,
That's
Yeah,
why
but
she
top
would
artists.
never fuck Jason Alexander. She is more famous than Jason Alexander.
I know.
You're right.
Way
You're
hotter
right. You're
than
right.
him.
You're right.
I just wanted to say it. To be honest with you.
This is insane too. So she goes. she's having trouble with Kevin. They had that show. Things kind of were on the rocks with them because of that shit. Which also, never get involved with a fucking reality show.
Kevin and
know,
Brittany
dude.
Chaotic, you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Their old
Never,
MTV show.
Never get into a relationship on a reality TV show. It's always going to be bad.
Those were great though back. And remember, there was the Osbournes, but remember the what was it? Nick Lachey and.
Jessica, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was a great one.
Has there been a single relationship in a reality show that has survived? Sharon and Ozzy
No,
Osbourne,
I don't think so, because Travis Barker had one too, and they broke up.
It's not going to work out.
No.
You put yourself in that situation. So she kind of is going just. It's so sad to me because she.
Oh, it's terribly sad.
She was a powerful woman at a young age and knew herself and knew how to create something cool for her audience and make good music and do this shit. And then she meets this dude, gets kids, and kind of just goes off the rails. She ends up driving with her baby in her lap around her neighborhood.
Hey, we got to get to the baby thing, but is Kevin Federline the most successful fuckboy in history?
Ooh.
Right? Like, who would beat him?
Damn good question.
I mean, there's some like fuckboy ladies. like side piece women.
That is a whole other dynamic.
No.
Scott's
right. It has to be. He has to be official. Like he was officially.
Hands down, he is the most successful fuckboy.
And still to this day, because he gets
now. Wait a minute.
Money from her for her kids, right?
Let me ask you this, because I'm not sure what his net worth is. I would say, if you consider DJ Pauly D a fuckboy or not?
Ooh, I mean, definitely.
He's damn successful.
Is that even a question?
What?
Is that even a question? Definitely, I do.
I don't think he's as douchey as Kevin Federline, though. I think a lot of. But Kevin Federline Pauly D is very successful. Like he does residencies at Vegas. He was the one person on that show who realized. I'm not saying he's a good DJ, but at least he knew he was doing it.
Yeah,
and he turned that into an actual career.
That's true. But yes, I would definitely say yes. He's the most successful fuckboy.
Yeah,
because I don't know any other fuckboys that are that famous.
No, it would be DJ Pauly D is a good second choice.
Yeah,
definitely a fuckboy because he was on the.
You got a third.
Speaking of OJ, I mean, you could argue that.
No. What?
What's his name? What's his name?
Are you saying Ron Goldman is the successful?
No. The waiter, the 17-year-old waiter.
Ron Goldman.
No, that wasn't his name, was it?
Stabbed. How was
that was his name?
Least successful fuckboy.
No,
if
but he was.
The last thing you want is to be stabbed to death.
Now, what is your definition of success? Because, dude, he was banging OJ's wife.
Yeah.
Got murdered because of it, and everybody freaking knows who he is because of it.
That's true. I still feel like you failed. You failed. The worst thing that can happen to you as a fuckboy is you get stabbed to death by a man much stronger.
So that's three, though. We have three pretty.
You're no longer a fuckboy.
Those probably are the top. Those might be on the Mount Rushmore of fuckboys, though.
Mount Rushmore of fuckboys. Yeah. You got Kevin Federline, definitely DJ Pauly D. Because if you are on the Jersey Shore, you're a fuckboy. If you live in New Jersey and you're a man,
but none of them were successful.
Every single one of them.
Millions that live there, they're all fuckboys.
But none of them were successful.
Right.
Pauly D was the biggest success out of it, though.
Yeah. No, it'd be Kevin Federline.
Yeah,
he's the top tier fuckboy. So you get good transition. So she's this dumbass fuckboy, deal with it, goes kind of nuts, fucking driving around with his baby, gets shot by the paparazzi, but also
in her lap, right?
In her lap was she shot. Also, again,
which is no big deal, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Like, they blew it out of fucking proportion. They acted like she was an unfit mother.
Dude,
and it's like, no, like
every parent that I know of has taken their kid and put them on their lap for a little bit, like in the front seat, kind of like, oh, you're driving, little Eric, or whatever.
Yep. It was a baby. He was like a baby. Is not holding on to the steering wheel. Like it was not an experience for it. It was definitely like, I don't want to have to put you in the fucking seat, so you're sitting on my lap.
Still, though, you are right.
Look.
We could go to a trailer park right now and find somebody driving around with a baby in their lap.
No, I guarantee it. And it's not. When they were freaking out about it, I was like, man, it's not that big of a deal. It is a little scary. It shows that she's a little unhinged, but like, it also is something I don't think is that nuts to me. But like, of course, it would be, especially because she's famous.
Could you imagine?
It's no fucking what's his name? Fucking Michael Jackson holding his baby over the balcony. Now that
his baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
You didn't have sex with that chick.
Yep. But like doing that, it's not on that level, and they kind of acted like it was at that level.
Okay, first of all, definitely they're the only other people on the book like him.
Well, then he put some stuff into a little dish, and they made.
I don't doubt that.
No, he definitely has a room downstairs where he's having surgery for those children to look more like him.
But second of all, could you imagine, seriously, that is a thing.
A little less nose, please.
And that is a thing I think about with all of these people is like, I think about all of us, the dumb ass shit we did in our late teens and early 20s.
I know.
She is Brittany Spears is
22.
22.
Yep.
I guarantee you, I would have done
traveling
with a baby at 22.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd be doing dumb things with a baby at 37. So
yeah, exactly. I'm in the store. I gotta go run out and get my kid again.
Oh. Damn it, I forgot I'm a father.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, what a life I live. So she essentially has that happen. The paparazzi are they are fucking monsters, and I hate them, and they are disgusting people, and well, wait a minute, though. I'm just going to tell you this. No, I agree. I agree, but I'm going to tell you that those people, it's like when we talk about sports almost, and some of these stuffs, and you get into like, well, they're hurting their body, but they want to do it. Dude, on the same hand, that comes with the territory of being famous, but they are monsters.
No, but here's the thing, though, dude. You know that most of those times they literally call ahead and say they're going to be here. They're going to be. I mean, it is very frequently they require them to get their money too.
Nowadays with the consolidation of media, my understanding at least is that yes. Paparazzi is not what it used to be now. It is this very.
But even back then, like that, like I remember watching a documentary on Paris Hilton, for example, and they were like, before Paris Hilton, dude, there wasn't paparazzi. People didn't want to be seen for legit. Didn't want to be seen. And Paris Hilton turned it into a career to be seen on paparazzi. And then it was like everybody wanted it.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say Princess Diana. Like, yeah, they definitely did. I mean, there are celebrities and stuff in like the 1980s where it was like they got some like top. The guy who made Hustler, Hustler blew up. The Larry
Flint.
Larry Flint, yes. The guy who made Hustler, he blew up. I'm blanking on who the celebrity was right now, but he got like some topless picture of like.
Yeah, dude, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Or whatever. And
by the way, Tyler, I know you're right. I'm not saying that they're. I'm just
saying they're fucking. I get that they go along with that stuff, but those people are fucking monsters, and they don't need to be. We don't need to dissect that shit to that extent.
No, but again, see, the thing is, I'm just saying. They wanted it to an extent. Here's what happens. They want it, and then they don't want it anymore. And now the problem is the cat's out of the bag.
But did Brittany Spears ever want it?
Yes. I don't think
from the beginning, yes, dude. No, they talk about
wanted the tabloids. I don't think she wanted the paparazzi. I think that she wanted the fans. But like, I don't want the fucking paparazzi. If I got famous or anywhere with my life, I wouldn't want that aspect. I want the fans, and I want some of the experiences with that kind of group. But even like people trying to grab at you, I get that. But fucking paparazzi is trying to get you hurt so they can get shit to take a picture of. They want controversy. They want to push you. They want to fucking make you mad. Like they're kind of shitty people in my opinion.
I should clarify, by the way, honestly, I have so much watching this. Live into that time. Like I realized how much I didn't understand about how these people, what they were going through and stuff like that. So trust me, I have I came out of this with an incredible amount of empathy and sympathy for Britney Spears. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's her fault, or I'm just saying a lot of times they want it until they don't want it. Is what I'm saying.
And we're kind of talking about a dead thing at this point because
that's true.
During when this
Britney
time
Spears.
period we're talking about,
Yep.
it's not
Early
paparazzi like that
2000s.
doesn't really exist now.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Because people don't really
TMZ
do
is
that.
the closest thing to it. Yeah.
And so I will say, when you're watching this stuff too, by the way, just on the subject of paparazzi, it made me realize sometimes, like back in the day, you'd see these celebrities and they have these houses with like, they got their own bowling alley and stuff. You'd almost be like, what an extravagant bullshit. Like, why do they need this? How insane that someone has this. And then you start to realize, like, dude, once you get to a certain level, they can't just go out. So they make a house where it's like, dude, they have all these things in there because they don't want to go out to go bowling. If they want to go bowling, they want to be able to walk down with a few select friends and go bowling.
Well, and I know Tyler's got a lot to get to. We're definitely probably going to go over an hour with this one, which is fine. I was just going to say, there was a Michael Jackson documentary I watched a while ago that really kind of made that clear to me, where like he'd just be going to the mall or something and there would be swarms of people.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. And people like he hugged a girl and the girl just broke down and is like weeping and screaming on the ground.
Like you're a god or something.
Right.
And it's like to have that kind of power 24/7
would be so overwhelming. I could, like Brittany Spears was saying that like at some point after those two albums, I forgot what they're called, but after that she started getting sick of seeing her own face because she felt like it wasn't her. It was this like product that they were putting out, and it felt like a separation kind of thing where it was like, that's not me, and I hate fucking seeing my face all the time.
And that is true. Imagine your identity.
I actually can't.
It would be so annoying to have to see yourself every fucking where you go,
and it would fuck with your senses.
I don't even look in the mirror.
Am I this manufactured?
Exactly. Yeah. And just all the shit. So she had that happen, goes into a rehab facility, leaves the next day, shaves her head. Her reasoning behind it was she was sick and tired of being the pretty person and having people touch her hair.
Right.
Like, and just like she just didn't want everyone constantly like fucking giving her all that attention. She was so sick of it. Other people had said it was because of medication issues and because she was off her meds and things like that. I don't believe that. A lot of these people are like her manager. So she has this manager. What's his fucking name? She has this fucking shitty manager that isn't really her manager because he's not on the books as her manager. And then started feeding her pills like in her salad. And he was like, I was trying to help her. And it's like, no, you were giving her drugs without her permission.
Yeah. Dude, they all know that the money train, that's why some of those bands back in the 80s and stuff, they were destroying their bodies. They don't care. There's a cash cow, and a whole industry is built, a whole team is built around it, and they just need to get her to the shows, man.
Yeah. Sam Luffy.
And that has been a recurring, we've talked about this before, but I do always feel like that is a thing people don't recognize about. I feel like that level of fame is you have an entire like industry around you. You have all of these people. They need
you on stage.
Dozens or hundreds of people who are relying on you for their living.
Yeah.
And the media was so cruel during that time
period. They were.
That is the thing I really remember.
Calling her ugly, calling her like so many names that were just like, she's doing it because she doesn't want to get attention, and now you guys are just being cruel.
And it wasn't even your mean-spirited like paparazzi type shit, like TMZ or whatever. We'll still kind of
the news was covering.
Yeah. You're talking about like Jay Leno on the Tonight Show.
Did you ever see?
Yeah.
I should have actually sent you guys this link before this week because I didn't even know where the conversation's going to go necessarily. But if you ever get a chance, watch Craig Ferguson. He did a monologue on it one time, and he brought it back to his own alcoholism, but also circled around to Brittany. It was literally back then when things were happening. Craig Ferguson.
A sympathetic monologue, you're saying?
What?
sympathetic.
Yes, very sympathetic.
Oh,
like he
that's
came out
awesome.
and just
Yeah, that
saying,
sounds great.
I can't do this anymore. Or and he goes into, like I said, I'm not gonna even try to do it justice. And even though we are already gonna be done with this show, you guys should watch it when we're done with at some point in the next week.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
really
I'll have to check that
interesting.
out.
I wish I would have thought about it and sent you guys it before, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, just being in that headspace, she's got to like constantly have to deal with people doing that. And then she shakes her head and everyone acts like, honestly, that she's lost her fucking mind.
Dude,
And it's like, one, no, she didn't. She shaved her head. She's allowed to do that. It's her fucking hair. And but I guarantee you a bunch of her like executives and shit, like all the people that Scott was just talking about that make their livelihood, were fucking livid. But she gets to do whatever the fuck she wants. She's a goddamn person, not a product.
Two things. One, speaking of products, what did you just open up? What are you drinking?
All day IPA.
Yeah.
Shit. Wow, that's
it was
a good
total
beer.
disaster. I got up to get a beer for a second. Like 5 of them fell out of the fridge.
Oh, we heard.
This one got shook up. It blew up all over the
Same
carpet.
thing happened to me. Same exact
Dude,
thing.
I'm very impressed though. All day IPA, that's actually a legit beer. Good for you.
Yeah, our roommate's a beer snob, and
Okay.
just cheering into it.
And then two, what I was going to say to Tyler, to you, when you're talking about being mean to her, you know, what's funny? Like, you know, I was at the age pretty young then. I don't know exactly how old I remember I was, but I was only like between 16 ish or whatever. And when you talk about these people being mean to her, like I didn't know at 16, I was just listening to radio and it was funny to me. But thinking about adults, looking back on it now, like me being at my age now, looking back,
I would never do that.
Absurdly mean that was.
Yeah.
How ridiculously unfair it was.
Well,
And I feel bad even
myself.
myself back then, because I used to kind of laugh at it because they weren't real to me. I just listened to the
Yeah.
radio and they'd be like, this thing happened.
Thing in my attitude that's kind of changes. Where I've been like, oh, well, they're the luckiest, happiest people in the world. They can fucking put up with this shit if anybody can. Like,
but it's like nowadays,
like,
it's like I know more about that. That's not the case. They're not
especially child stars. Like,
you just went through
God.
the fucking ringer through your life. You've just been pumped out as a cash cow for your family, most likely. And there are ones that can get through that because they have good, stable families, but it's rare.
It's rare because that's not usually the family that's going to push them into that.
Got you like Elijah Woods.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to say this because, like I was saying about this guy, and I think you guys would think this is pretty hilarious and pretty nuts. So this guy, Sam Lutfi, claimed to be her manager, and he was the one who crushed up medication and put it in her salad and like all this shit. And then her family went to court with this guy. And it was found out that in no way, shape, or form he was her manager. He was not. He was just telling her that. He just said that, like, I'm big in the industry. So she's like, oh, you can be my manager. But there was no paper sign, no nothing. He was just like, what they said in court is what they called him. They described him as, you are not a manager. You are a despicable, disgusting human being who was a parasite on Brittany's life.
So she let him in? He wasn't... I don't understand.
Essentially, it was like she met this dude at a party.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I care about you. I'm big in the industry. You're at this party. I'm famous because we're at this party. So like, I can like insert myself into your life. Everyone thought that that's who he was. Yeah. And he would like kind of push her to do things and like fucking.
And this is a dude who like
food and like whatever. So there's no paperwork done. Yeah. A lot of the people in Brittany's life really weren't like, done up with like contracts and stuff. They were her friends and family and like her nanny and like people like that cared about her, that wanted to help her, so they were her assistants.
And kind of is everything going through her dad at this point?
At this point, not yet, because she shaved her head thing, and then her and Kevin had a big blowout fight, and she essentially they got divorced.
Yep,
he got the kids. And when that happened, she kind of went really off the rails and did a bunch of drugs and almost died. And then after that, that's when it was like a suicide watch kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then
like
he took over.
Yep,
and then they get in. Her dad got what is it called, the
conservatorship?
The conservatorship, which is
something I'd never heard of in my entire life until
me neither. And it is she can't vote. She can't fucking get mail. she can't fucking like do basic. She can't get things under her name.
No, and
she can't like get a house. She can't fucking get a car. Everything has to be under her dad's name. Like I couldn't believe she is a 37-year-old woman who earns so much for this fucking country and can't vote.
Yeah. No, it did say like a conservatorship too is generally used
for old mentally or mentally unstable people or like people with dementia.
Yep.
People who can't make decisions for themselves. They can't go to the bathroom.
Exactly. The parents of like extremely special needs
children
and like
I make decisions like you get to go to the store today. I get to do that. Yeah. And it's like, man, she's not fucking insane. Like she's just been through a hard time, and you can see the stress on her face in videos recently and stuff like that. So it's like she's been through it, but the funny thing is like fucking incompetent.
No,
she has this conservatorship, and it's like the idea that this thing to me when it came to the hashtag Free Brittany, like I kind of heard it last year. I heard some rumblings about it. And honest to God, I remember not paying much attention to it because I really was like, what are you talking about? Like Brittany Spears?
No, my reference was the YouTube video guy that like cried and leave Brittany alone.
Well, that was way before that. That was back in the day.
That was for this.
Are you sure about that?
It was.
I'm pretty sure that was way longer ago.
No, it was during the conservatorship. It was way longer.
I'll take your word for it.
When she was like 24 years old.
Yeah, I had thought the same thing. I thought it's like during the time period when she was shaving her head and stuff.
I'll take your word for it.
It's like during that time really was around when that happened because it was like shaved head broke up with Kevin.
Okay, so it happened all really fast.
How it all happened.
Yeah, so like 24, she's going through this shit. That so just real quick, when I was doing that for that reason.
So what I wanted to say is
the
like
media was being shitty.
When I first found out about this, like over last year, like I didn't even pay much attention to it because I didn't even understand what was going on. I didn't free Brittany. I thought it was maybe out of a contract, just something simple like that. But when you get into it, like you said, like she's making these decisions and they're allowing her. She is literally touring. She has a residency in Vegas. But somehow they're still saying you don't have a conscious mind enough to.
Yeah, you're doing shows fucking all night, like dancing, choreography, fucking interacting with fans, but you can't fucking like vote,
right?
or decide what to do with your own fucking money. And even now with her arguing, what she's going to court for is not even to get control of the money herself; it's to get a different company.
She just doesn't want her dad doing it.
Yeah, she just doesn't want her dad doing it.
Well, and I'm curious. Yeah, and I'm curious too. And you may not have the answer for this. This might not even necessarily be publicly available information. But like, is her dad going with her on tour and stuff, or does he have his own little team of people?
He has his team of people.
Oh man, imagine working on that fucking team.
And then so she.
It sounds terrible from what people say. So
also is like, okay, so she's goes through all that shit. That shit happens with her dad. At the start of the conservatorship, it starts being a very beneficial thing for her because she doesn't really have to worry about all that stuff. And she kind of gets back, she gets that Vegas job and she gets like fucking America's Got Talent, is it America's Got Talent she did?
Was it The Voice?
The what?
I thought it was Idol, but maybe it was The Voice.
Oh, Idol. Maybe it was.
I thought it was Idol.
Christina Aguilera was The Voice.
But she was going through doing all that stuff because she had structure again. She did break up with Kevin and he got the kids. So she was having a hard time, but she was doing a lot better with her shows. She was actually like feeling a lot better. People were saying she was doing better. And then her dad got sick and she kind of dropped everything.
How did Kevin Federline got the kids?
Piece of shit. Yeah,
I'd be really curious. How did somebody in court? How did her defense attorneys not just be like,
Brittany
listen to this song he made
and
listen to this fucking song?
It's like that Dave Chappelle bit. Like he made Thriller. Like she made fucking so.
Or honestly,
Toxic.
She made Toxic.
Or like even like when sometimes people will say they'll just look it up. Like
Toxic is a good representation of why she should keep her kids.
You know who else goes on the
Toxic, dude.
I know, but Toxic is not a good thing for a mother to be.
Yeah, I guess.
I just say too because he is the spiritual successor to Kevin Federline. Fourth guy on that Mount Rushmore of fuckboys, Chet Hanks.
Chet Hanks.
Who is that? I'm trying to remember.
Do you know Chet Hanks? White Boy Summer. Oh my
What's
God,
up?
he's literally Tom Hanks.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
He's got real Federline vibes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. You know what?
Fourth face on the fucking
Fuck
When
boy
you
Mount Rushmore.
when you said it, the reason I didn't recognize it right away is I thought I just assumed you were going to be talking about something from back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I no, dude. Yes, dude, for sure. I like, what did someone say? Like, dude, the dude tried to like, hey, I don't want everyone to know I'm Tom Hanks's son, so I'm just gonna put a Z there instead of, or something like an.
He was originally Chet Hayes,
Okay.
and then did Chet Hanks.
I was gonna say this is actually what happened with the conservatorship. That guy, once Sam Lutfi was like, they got a restraining order against him because he was in charge of a lot of her shit. It had to go somewhere. That's when the conservatorship went to her parents.
So it was kind of, I'm saving you from this Sam Lutfi
thing. And honestly, he was doing a good job. He was helping her out. She was doing well. Then he got kind of sick. And I mean, he was being a piece of shit most of her life. And then after the conservatorship started, he started helping her out with stuff and being better about it. And then he gets sick. She quits everything to kind of go back to that. And then comes back to the scene recently within the last 2 years, essentially, like just haggard looking and wildly like kind of crazed and looks like she's in a very rough situation.
Yeah.
She also was doing TikToks. There was something they said about TikTok. Like I watched this thing and it was like, they asked, she was in a TikTok video and in the comics, people were like, hey, if you're doing okay, if you're not doing okay, wear yellow in your next TikTok video. And they immediately, the next video, she's wearing a yellow top. And then in that one, they're like, her fans are like, hey, wear something blue if you need help. And then in the next one, she wears blue.
Man.
Oh, no,
So
she's,
it's like,
dude, she's very clearly put out the sign. I mean, dude, even in that document, she has, I forget exactly what the document is, but there's a document from the court that people can have gotten. I don't know if it's from Freedom of Information or if it's just whatever, but her lawyer is speaking for her, and he's full on saying Brittany is happy for the informed fans who are supporting her. She doesn't want her dad to be with this. I mean, very clearly,
just like addressing that, like, don't, it's,
and she's happy that the
that's so
fans,
dark.
she's showing appreciation too for these fans that are. And I will say one thing they said out of that interview, and luckily sometimes, even though it sucks, a positive lining apparently is that a lot of people, as neither of us, all three, seem to know what conservationships were. And they say through this, there's a lot of information like people are getting more just aware of what these even are and how they're not always as beneficial, but they were just a thing and no one knew what they were. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like the awareness of it in general is a positive thing.
Did she release another album? Like in the last couple of years?
She did. I think when she was going on tour, or not going on tour, when because she has 3, I believe.
3, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
There's the Toxic one. There's the first album she ever put out, and then
the last one I have here on the last one I have here on Spotify. There's Brittany Jean in 2013, and then there's Glory in 20. Oh, you know what, dude? Now is this? Oh, there's Glory in 2016. But now there's Glory in 2020, which is the deluxe. I don't know if that's just a redo, but it looks like she had something in 2016.
And actually, I'm sure we'll probably get to it when you cover it, but I know there's been some shady shit with...
Glory, Brittany, Circus. I see.
Okay.
So she
Circus is what, 2018? Is that what it is?
It's funny how some of those, I didn't even know what some of these albums were named, even though I...
Oh,
like the Blackout album. Never
I think
heard
some of these are singles, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, heard of the Blackout. I knew most of these. I just didn't know how many she had. I mean, she's fucking famous as hell. Is the thing.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say about like her conservatorship too. I thought it was really messed up. The company that her dad runs that stuff, runs her money and her company and stuff. And when the court case was going on, it was getting a lot of traction with her fans, and they were like, "Hey, let's go down there and protest. Like, let's be on her side and be with her." And when the court was supposed to be doing that case, the company that does Britney Spears stuff also opened a like free museum with like 8 different sections for her, Britney's like videos. Essentially, you could go to different areas, and they opened it up to the public to be free as a publicity stunt. Really, honestly, to cover like. Don't worry about the fucking case we're doing.
Yeah, no,
like,
they've done that multiple times.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the fans got super pissed and protested it,
yeah.
which is pretty awesome in my opinion. That they didn't go in, that they didn't have anybody in there.
Yeah, that is cool.
But
it's wild.
So yeah, and then recently she just got the most recent thing about Brittany. I mean, there's so many other aspects of things like. That you could go down a fucking rabbit hole with Brittany Spears and all this stuff, but
it's very interesting.
I would love to
if not disturbing.
I would love to do a follow-up episode on just conspiracies involved in the whole Free Britney
thing. Like, yeah, what's really going on?
Well, I mean, there's I'm sure Tyler saw it because he watched the thing, but there's a podcast out there for a while that was and I think they're still going, but their whole podcast was literally just dissecting Britney Spears tweets. And Instagram posts and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
And they were the one who
There's
like
a lot of
broke
weird
open a lot
shit
of
in there, man. Like I saw one on this video that was saying like it listed all the time she says where she is and what time it is during that day, like kind of giving you like, hey, I'm here and this is what time it is. If I'm gone, this is good information, kind of thing. Man. And in like almost every single message, she was like, "This is what time of day it is. This is where I'm at. This is what time of day it is. This is where I'm at." Like, just so you guys know.
I just don't understand in this day and age. Like, we all know the system can be far, and I know there's money involved. I get all that, but in this day and age, with some of the stuff that's come out, I don't understand how they can't come in and just go, "Okay, Dad, you're." And like you said, she doesn't even she's not even saying she wants to handle her money. She's like, "Let someone handle it for me." Yeah, fine, but I just don't want it being my dad.
Yep, exactly. I that's what I was saying too. That I can't believe even it's like I don't even want me to handle it. I just want someone else to. He's fucking putting me in this situation where I can't do anything. And she's a full-grown woman. She's almost 40 years old. Yeah, like let her fucking decide what to do with herself and her money.
And I mean, it is one of those.
Earned it.
And it is one of those things like when you say like not to get too off track, but I mean they do have like. You know, I think about like with our court system, even like 95% of cases are resolved with a guilty plea. I mean, like everything goes back to money. And it's like when you say like, why would nobody solve this? Why would nobody fix it? It's like because the power dynamic is just.
What's weird though is she has the money technically. That's although technically.
No, he has the money technically.
I know she's making the money. That's what's so bizarre about it though. Like she's the one creating the money. And like they said on the show, it's such an ironic situation because in a lot of these situations with these what are they? God damn it, the word already. I forget what the word is called.
Conservatorships.
Yeah. A lot of those, again, like you said, they're older people, and it's like there's not a money issue as much as like these people literally don't know how to do it or they're going to get scammed. This is a weird situation where she's creating the money that is paying for her dad, and her lawyer. That's going against her.
Like, yeah. And the same thing with their kids. The same thing with their kids. She has a restraining order from Kevin so that she can't be around the kids. So she's paying Kevin for alimony. Yeah. And he just gets to have child support, and he gets to keep the kids. She doesn't even get to be around them, and is paying for all these motherfuckers that are just taking from her.
Can you imagine? Seriously, man, you are Kevin Federline. You are just some moron backup dancer.
Right.
And you just get lucky, and you just pump your stupid fucking load. And it just
right in there.
One of the most famous people in the entire
world. Yeah, that is a golden opportunity. He is the king of fuckboys.
Yeah, no, on Mount Rushmore, his head is twice the size.
I'm gonna think more this week about other
and the other little ones on the side. Oh man, that's hilarious.
It's terrible though. I will say, like,
it makes me feel so fucking bad.
I can hear it in Tyler's voice when he talks about it, but like when I was watching it, I didn't text you guys on purpose, but when I was watching it, I found myself getting very angry watching it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Upset and so sad for her. She does not deserve that. She's such a sweet good girl.
Leave Brittany alone.
Yeah, just leave Brittany alone.
Just leave her alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
I feel bad. You know what? That song was bad. I'm not trying to make light of it.
Though, because like honestly,
no, unironically,
like she's
right.
one of the people where it's like I feel like you didn't deserve to go down this road. I feel like there are some people that like put themselves in that position and they really kind of like honestly, fucking Hillary or not Hillary, fucking what's her name?
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
She's got her own. Her parents
She's
are
got
fucked
it
up too.
That's absolutely true, and she was a child
the
star.
Cash Me Outside
I
girl.
never really felt bad for her. Brittany, I feel bad for.
Yeah, Cash Me Outside girl's a good example.
Girl. If I heard she was going through some bullshit, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, you were always trash. What would you?
Yeah, that's a good example.
You know,
he doesn't know Cash Me Outside.
Cash Me Outside. Oh my god!
What is this?
It was like a girl who was on what talk
Dr.
show?
Phil.
Dr. Phil, yeah. And like was basically just trying to fight people. Be like, Cash Me Outside, Cash Me Outside.
She's on there.
Girl. And she's since like become not a
rapper?
good rapper, but a famous enough rapper that she's a
Dude,
millionaire.
Tyler, you have to go watch this. Literally, she's talking to Dr. Phil, and she's like bad mouthing her mom, and all the crowd's like boo, boo, and she's like, "Cash Me Outside." How about that?
Yeah, I was not aware of the Cash.
You gotta
Me
go
Outside
see it. You gotta go see it.
All right. Oh, that was another fucking thing that was crazy. You're talking about Dr. Phil. That's so nuts.
He is a slime ball. I hate
Oh,
him.
for sure.
Yeah. She gets sick. She goes to rehab. She's in rehab. She's going through a lot of shit. They send in Dr. Phil to help her. Yes.
Well, he's
not
okay.
even a doctor. He's not a doctor.
No.
But he knows Oprah.
She felt fair. And then that motherfucker told everyone what they talked about on his show.
Yeah, I
And then
remember
tried
did.
to argue that it was okay because she wanted it to heal. She didn't want him to tell anything that they had discussed in that fucking room. Fuck Dr. Phil.
No,
Fuck all those paparazzi.
He's
Leave this poor girl alone.
And seriously, and Dr. Phil of all people, man, he's not even a doctor. He is literally like that man has made an entire career off of just being a pompous, judgmental piece.
Who
of
knew?
shit.
Well, and don't forget, he knows Oprah. So
unreal.
Okay.
God, if you could just know Oprah, dude, look at Gayle King, dude. All you have to do is
know Oprah too.
Yeah.
Dude, if you just get to know her, you're set.
Life.
Does Dr. Phil go on the fuckboy Mount Rushmore?
I think he technically has a wife, some Christian wife.
Mount Rushmore man, he's the dick. He's a little,
he's like a
tiny little dick.
He's just Kevin Federline swinging stone dick, and it's just got Dr. Phil's face on it.
Yeah. Oh God. So let's finish it up here. any final thoughts on freeing Brittany?
Oh, I got a lot actually.
Scott,
if I had if there were no consequences, I would take a gun and I would murder Dr. Phil. That's my final thought.
I would help you. I would totally be on board with that. Let's go get that fat pompous motherfucker. What about you, Eric?
Oh yeah, dude, for sure, man. I'm not gonna.
I'm on board with
this is a pro murdering Dr. Phil.
Oh no. Well, yeah, that too. I wasn't even going with that, but I'm not gonna try to talk too long as far as the final thought. But I have a pretty decent final thought. Like to me, one thing, dude. I honestly, personally, I'm not trying to sound like a douchebag or like trying to in this 2020 sound woke or some shit. But like looking back, I've had a lot different thought on how these pop stars and celebrities were treated back in the day. And I feel kind of bad even myself, even though I was a younger person and I just listened to radio and I didn't really know. But dude, she as a girl too, like Tyler pointed it out, dude, they literally would ask her like just about her breasts and shit. Yeah. And it's like they never are asking Justin Timberlake about
your dick size, bro.
Right. Well, how big is your dick?
That would be insane.
It's just really too bad.
You're doing that on national television. I'm going to bring it up. How are your breasts? Like, you creepy fuck. Why are you asking her that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all the pressure on all sides.
And so the other thing I would say, and for one, by the way, a random thing, like Taylor Swift is another person. I really like Taylor Swift, and she's someone who she had a song that she came out with one time called like The Man. And it was the whole song was just about like, these are attributes that like, if I was a man, you'd call me this, because I'm a female, you call me this. And I've just really been open more in the last year or so to how shitty some of the shit is.
Yeah.
And then the other final thought real quick would be, used to want to be famous, man. I really did. I used to want to be famous. And I've realized since then, a low level, yes, I want to kind of keep doing, art for a living and get paid to be happy.
Acting, podcasting, that's that level of fame you want.
Yeah, I don't need that anymore.
People, that's enough.
No, I don't even want to win the lottery anymore. I used to think dude, I'm not kidding you. At 30, we should do an episode. I'm going to do an episode one time about the lottery. And it's like, dude, you don't want to win $300 million, dude.
No. I give it to me then. If you ever win the lottery, give it to me.
Dude, the problem is,
I will take that burden off of your hands.
There are story after story, dude, of people hiring people to murder them, to any girl you in this day and age of social media, any girl you've ever met.
I'll hire my own assassins.
Yeah.
They raped me. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I will take that burden directly off of your shoulders.
Okay, well, I don't want. Anyway, so that's what I got out of
kindness. That's what I got out of this. Yeah, I don't want to be that.
No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it's too extreme. My final thought would be pretty much the same as you guys. I'd kill Dr. Phil, and I hate everyone that hates on.
I want to be clear. I didn't actually say out of my mouth those words.
You joined up. You joined up.
I Billy Bushed it.
Yeah, we
I Billy Bushed it. I just laughed.
We awkwardly
in the background.
I had a knife.
Listen,
we all picked our finger.
You got the hellfish tattoo. We're doing a Tontaine. The last one who is alive has to hunt down Dr. Phil.
By the way, I don't usually watch like pop culture crap, but for some reason it was on the other day. Billy Bush is back on again now. He's on some show like Extra, or I don't even know, but he's back somewhere again. He got out of social justice jail, I guess, or whatever.
I know another guy who could conceivably be on the fuckboy Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
Billy Bush.
Billy Bush is definitely up there, too.
See, I think we have different definitions of what a fuckboy is.
A mountain of faces and just a fuckboy mountain.
I don't put him as a fuckboy. I think he's just kind of a weirdo who
he might have just been a coward who just rolled with what Donald Trump was.
I mean, I would say this for real. If to some of us, I think if people were really honest, and dude, everything Donald Trump said was fucking everything you expect Donald Trump to say in that interview. Yeah. But
you know what is also what a ton of these famous people say. This is how they fucking
dude, exactly. And by the way, no one gave a fuck until he was running for president. But whatever.
Yep.
But like the point is, if everyone was really being honest with themselves, if you were working on a TV show, he's recording some audio. Give me a break. As if I don't really know that many people that really would have the guts to sit there and go, Mr. Trump, that is inappropriate. Even if they thought it. You know what I mean?
No, and especially not these fucking reporters and stuff, especially the sort of work he does. They're so subservient, man. They're just like, oh, thank you so much for appearing on my thing.
And all he did is chuckle in the background, by the way. And by the way, Donald Trump isn't saying he's raping women. He's just saying that when you're famous, girls will let you. I mean, I'm just saying, whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not saying I'm not defending Donald Trump. I'm more defending Billy Bush. Like, dude, anyway.
Either way, it's a terrible move. That's how we're ending it. Woo-woo! So
wow, that's how I get to end.
I'm depressing episode dealing with Brittany Spears, so it should
the last things I say is I'm defending Billy Bush.
Right. We
Eric Fady for the rest
edit that out. Billy Tyler
defending this woman.
No, I'm gonna boost it. Make sure everybody hears it.
Share it around on Twitter.
Okay, so I'm first, but right before we get out of here, it is Scott's week. You want to tease anything for next week?
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do next week is there is a famous blog. Have you ever heard of the famous Crazy Days and Nights blog, Eric?
No.
It is an entertainment lawyer who has all of these sources and will post a ton of celebrity gossip that he has an insane track record of like being right about.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm gonna go through there and just
right after our sympathetic cause towards Brittany Spears, next week we're gonna be laughing at celebrities.
Totally. You gotta have balance. You know, we defended this very put upon woman. And you dropped a bomb of misogyny.
Yep, at the very end. And then next week we'll balance that with making fun of people.
Check your misogyny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Thank you
All
for
right.
listening to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. Like, subscribe, review us on iTunes, please. That seriously helps us. Give us 5 stars. If it just take 2 seconds out of your day to do that.
Yeah.
And also thank you again for all the support. It's been fucking amazing. I know it's just like a little, it's not that much, but it's a lot to us, and we appreciate you guys commenting. That you guys commented on this video today. We thank you. We'll respond when we're done, and we love you all. Please like and subscribe to our shit.
And free Brittany.
And free Brittany.
Free Brittany. Bye.
Free Brittany. Fuck her dad. Don't fuck her dad,
And
but
just, it killed Dr.
free
Phil.
Brittany.
I'll say it.